And while some people may be absolutely loving this gorgeous weather lately, it's also causing others to lose sleep. Let's bring in our Tina Yazdani now. And Tina, what are some residents telling you tonight about living in this heat?
Well, Melissa, many residents weren't expecting to deal with these kinds of conditions in April. It is sweltering in many of the condos and apartment buildings that are surrounding us tonight. And while it is the third day of record-breaking temperatures here in Toronto, the AC units remain off in most units. Is the heat still on in your apartment?
It is, yes.
How have you been coping with that?
Opening the door, trying to go on walks.
Yeah, it's really unbreathable, like in an apartment, if you don't have any like AC on, like it's really humid.
It's ridiculous. They need to turn it on. It's way too hot in some places.
Torontonians are looking for ways to cool down during this unseasonable stretch of hot weather, both outside and inside, where heat is still blasting in most Toronto condos and apartments.
Yeah, it's been difficult. It's just been extra hot, so I have the windows open, the fan on. It's just difficult, but hopefully air conditioning starts up soon.
In Toronto, landlords aren't required to provide air conditioning to tenants, only to provide heat to a minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. If a building is already equipped with air conditioning, landlords are required to turn it on, but not until June. Do you think that's a little bit too late?
I think they're saving some money, but it's a little bit too late. They should monitor the weather temperature and figure it out what's best for the tenants.
What the city really needs is a maximum room temperature. This only really affects a very small percentage of units that become like death traps. They're so hot.
One mayoral candidate calling for just that. If elected, Josh Matlow says he would enact a maximum temperature bylaw of 26 degrees Celsius in apartment units and allow windows in high-rises to open more than 10 centimeters.
To protect the health and safety of tenants who on a day like now, when we're getting up to like 30 degrees Celsius, they don't boil in their own home.
And as things are getting hotter earlier, a lot of people are now ending up in very sweltering and dangerous conditions.
About 500,000 residents in Toronto are living in condos or apartments without air conditioning. The Ontario Human Rights Commission says extreme heat waves disproportionately impact people with disabilities, seniors, and low-income racialized communities. The group has called on the Ford government to designate air conditioning as a vital service just like heat, hot and cold water, and electricity. The province recently introduced new legislation giving all tenants the right to install air conditioning units, but at their own cost.
Now they're saying, oh, we're going to allow tenants to do that, but we're going to allow landlords to gouge them on the other end.
Another mayoral candidate, Mitzie Hunter, also promising an extreme heat protection program that would increase regular checks on the most vulnerable communities in Toronto during heat waves. And by the way, landlords who don't maintain that minimum 21-degree temperature inside units, especially during colder months, will face a $500 fine.